move on to the next heat here and look at the Jamaican team. One of the favorites in this heat, Julian Dunkley leading things off, but some very good sprinters, including Chris Williams, who won the silver medal in the 200 on Thursday night here in Edmonton. Also Canada. Now, you don't have Bruni Surin and Donovan Bailey, so this team really has changed.
This team has changed tremendously. You do still have Glenroy Gilbert, who is the leader of this team. He was on the World Championship team from 1995 and 1997, but he's got a lot of really young guys on there who did not compete in the open 100 meters.
Again, the two outside lanes here are open. Jamaican lane 2, Canada out in lane 6.
Jamaica has a really good team, and most of those athletes have competed at United States schools, so they have run a lot of relays.
They've also got Christopher Williams, who PR'd, ran a personal best in both the semifinal and the quarterfinal here in the 200 meters, and Ricardo Williams, who is also a student in the United States, who has run very well this summer. They have a very good team. I think a lot of people underestimate how well they can do here.
Semifinals tomorrow afternoon. Coverage beginning at 4 o'clock here on ABC, and then tomorrow night on ESPN2. We get underway at 10 o'clock. You can see the finals of this 4x100 for the men.
Set. Stand up.
Jamaica is another one of those teams who has enough quality sprinters where they can change their lineup up a little bit in terms of this round and also the final round. One of their athletes that they do not have running today is Lindell Frater, who is the leadoff leg for TCU, and they were the NCAA champions this year.
Not that you would make a move at this point based on what happened to the U.S. if you're another team, but you have to have your 4 guys in an hour before your heat, so you could not make any change at this point if you're in, say, this heat or the next heat coming up. But just in terms of thought processes here, looking to the next round with Drummond perhaps out, what does that do?
It doesn't change the lineup of any of these teams because most of these teams, unlike the United States, don't have interchangeable parts. They've got guys who are good at running the curve that they put on third. They've got good starters that they put on first, and then they've got what we call a stinger, which you put on anchor, and that's a person that can go and get somebody.
Set.
And Mark Wells for Bahama leading things off for them in lane 7. Canada going well in lane 2. There's Glenroy Gilbert actually in lane 6 out there.
And watch for the Bahamas out in lane 8, or lane 7, I'm sorry, to have a good race as well. They've got some pretty decent sprinters on there.
And there's problem with Jamaica. Jamaica in lane 2, and they've had horrible problems here. Here we come down to the line. Canada, listen to this crowd as the Canadian team is doing well and going to get there in the end. Canada wins it. This is the loudest this crowd has been all week long.
Well, the United States and Canada have had some fierce rivalries in the 4x1, and obviously Canada has a young group of sprinters out there, but they have not had a lot to cheer about at these World Championships, and I am sure they are happy to see this team in the next round, because if you think about it, without Bruni Surin, without Donovan Bailey, I'm sure they thought they had no shot of making it to the semifinals.
Yeah, they're not exactly saying Donovan who and Bruni who.
No. But you have to look to the future. You see Canada on the outside with a good pass there. You know, you've got to look to the future. Every program has its ups times and down times. And then at this point, Australia in lane number 5 moving well, but Canada is able to take along the win and really bring the crowd to its feet.
Well, let's look and see what happens to Jamaica, because they don't get through the second exchange. They had a very good exchange on the first one, and Jamaica normally does. This is the first exchange right here, and they're in good shape. It's a very good and clean exchange right there. Boom. Now they're on the second leg. They're still in very good position, but something happens between this exchange. Third leg never gets the baton. That's a complete run-up. What that is lack of focus by the third leg. He's not even ready. He's not even in the position to receive the baton. He never took off.
You know, that's
and that is something I have never, ever seen in all of my days of running.
That's Chris Williams.
You know, what is he
He's a
thinking?
veteran.
What happens is what you do is you go out there in a relay, you set the mark, and then you walk off your steps and you put your tape down. When the other guy hits the tape, you run. Chris Williams.
So here are the results. Canada drawing a large ovation from this crowd, winning. Australia and Italy, the top three, moving on. Let's look back for a moment, though, at that exchange, Carol.
Well, you know, we were trying to figure out what happened to Jamaica. Chris Williams, who's running the third leg for Jamaica, we were watching over there, and I think that he was talking to James Beckford, who's competing in the final of the long jump, while he was waiting for the baton, and he did not really realize they were going.
If that's true.
How scary is that?
Yeah.
Scary is not the
But
word.
he had,
Oh, my gosh.
his attention had to be totally on something else for him not even to realize that the race had started.